What's going on, all my toy collectors and X-Men fans out there? You know who it is. It's your boy Ox, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Retro Cardback Uncanny X-Men Rogue figure by Hasbro Toys. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, now starting off at the front of the box, you guys can see that this has that retro card back based off the old Toy Biz 90s X-Men action figures, which is really cool. Like I said the other day when I did the Gambit review, it's really hard for me to take these figures out of the box. Like I said, I've had them for a couple years, and I love the way that card back looks, and that's why it's really hard for me to take them out and display them the way I am now. But I've already measured the box out for you guys. It's 8.5 inches long by 11 inches tall by 1.5 inches in depth. Yesterday I measured wrong. I thought it was 2 inches, but it ends up being 1.5 inches in depth, okay? Now you guys can see the Uncanny X-Men logo right there, little Marvel Comics logo, kind of throwing you like how it used to look on the comics, on the comic strips. You guys can see Rogue right here, let you know she has power absorption, the name of the character we're looking at, which is Marvel's Rogue, and then you can see a clear package window showing you the character inside and the extra swappable hands that she has right here, okay? She doesn't come with any other kind of weapons because normally Rogue doesn't use any kind of weapons besides her abilities, okay? Taking a look at the back of the box, you guys can see Rogue right here. A little read up on her if you guys need to. A little barcode right there. Let's go ahead and crack this baby out of the box. Now, real quick before I do, I want to let you guys know, if you guys really like these card backs, but you guys want to display these figures, it's really not that hard to actually open them. This right here is from the Gambit figure right here. What you do is just take a knife, kind of slide that blade all the way out. Make sure if you're younger, you guys ask your parents. There's an opening right here on all of these cards. You guys just slide that knife in there pretty far, about that far, and then you guys just slowly cut. You guys can see that this card back is actually two different pieces of cardboard right there. They're kind of just glued together. All you guys basically have to do is just cut that glue, okay? And like I said, there's a little opening right there. Just slowly do this with the knife all the way around, all the way up to about there, okay? Up to about the end, and then go over here and then slowly move over about that far right there. And then you guys can easily just pop this out and pull the figure right out of there without having to mess up your card backs. And if you guys want to turn around and glue that later, you guys can, okay? I'm sure most of you guys already know that, but that's just something I do. I do it with all of these figures in case I decide that I want to turn around and just put them back in here and display them later, because who knows, with the way figures are dropping now, something cool always might come out later. So let's go ahead and crack her out of the box. Okay, now here's Rogue out of the box. You guys can see that she comes with 2 extra swappable hands. Out of the box, she has 2 closed fists right there, but you guys can see on the right hand, she has this one right here, which is like basically when she's pulling off her glove, letting you know that she could in the cartoon, basically her fingers would like kind of sparkle, basically let you know that she can like absorb powers and, and shoot those powers out. And this right here is her taking off her glove right here. And this will be her left hand, and she's taking off the glove off of that right hand, okay? Taking a look at the figure up close, I've already measured her out for you guys. She's actually shorter than Gambit, the figure we looked at the other day. She comes out to 6 1/4. I think he was 6 3/4. So she's a little bit shorter than him, which is perfectly fine. She's supposed to be. And taking a look at her up close, I love her face. They did a really good job on her paint work. I love her jacket right here. Like I said, I think that this figure was also reuse of another Rogue that they had came out with. I think that Rogue didn't have maybe the white hair right here, or maybe didn't have this jacket. I'm not really for sure, because I started collecting a little bit later in the game, and I couldn't find some of them figures. I think I told you guys the other day that just they were all off the shelves. Everywhere I looked, I couldn't find any of them figures, and I don't pay scalpers. So but yeah, this figure looks awesome, man. I love all the little X-Men details right there, the little logo. Obviously, Rogue is known for having, a huge butt, basically, if you guys remember the old cartoon back in the 90s. But yeah, man, I love this figure. I love the way this figure looks. I don't have any kind of issues with the paint. I don't see anything that, I hear some people complain about a lot with some of the Marvel Legends figures, maybe because this figure's, older compared to the figures that Hasbro's been coming out with lately. But I love all this paint work. Nothing's off to me. Nothing's not painted. Yeah, I love the way it looks. Let's quickly go over that articulation real fast. Some of it's going to be hindered because of her hair so hard right here. So her turning her head isn't going to go all the way around it. Obviously it's meant to because it's on a ball joint, but that hair right there is going to hinder it. But she will look side to side. She doesn't look up any. She looks down about that far, which is fine, but she can't look up, like I said, because of her hair. Her jacket doesn't, it possibly looks like it'll come off if you guys pop off her arms and maybe take off her jacket, but I'm not going to do that because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this arm back in that socket. But her arm does go up. It does rotate. She doesn't have any kind of bicep swivel. See, a single jointed elbows, but they do swivel right here at the elbows. That's probably to take over the fact that they didn't end up having any kind of bicep swivel right here. So her arm does swivel at the elbow, okay? She does have wrist articulation. Her hand does go in, does go out. This little piece right here to her glove, you guys can move that up or move it back if you guys want. That's meant to make it look like her, you know, like it's connected to her glove, okay? So this does rotate around if you guys need it to. Now, she does have upper torso articulation, does rotate around if you guys need it to. She does crunch forward about that far, does lean back. I don't see any kind of issues with the paint. She doesn't have any kind of waist articulation, but that's because she has upper torso articulation. Her legs do kick up to there. They do kick up pretty far there. She does have a thigh cut. She does have double jointed knees, which you guys can also see that this stuff moves right here. These little pieces of fabric, basically. I'm not sure if that's just meant to kind of like block, you know, obviously it's a boot, it's part of her boot, but I don't know if it's meant to kind of like block that little groove right there in the joint, okay, where the articulation is, like that, basically, okay. Yep. Now, she doesn't have any kind of calf rotation. Her foot does go up, does go down, does rock back and forth if you guys need it to. But yeah, amazing looking figure. I love this figure a lot. Like I said, it was really hard for me to pull these figures out of these retro card backs just because I loved the box that they came in. But now that I have her out and I'm taking a look at her, yeah, I really love the way this figure looks. Okay, now here's my old Toy Biz action figure. I think this is from 1994, and you guys can see that, you know, definitely a big upgrade, you know, from all those years now, you know, and how they make action figures now. But I love the fact that just putting this figure next to this one, you know, it definitely pays homage to this, you know, and to that cartoon that I watched growing up in the 90s. But yeah, and this figure right here, her head doesn't even swivel or move around or anything like that. Her arms just, you know, go up a little bit, and she does have articulation in one of the elbows. But yeah, she doesn't have any kind of, oh, she does have knee articulation. But yeah, other than that, man, big upgrade, basically. And like I said, I didn't have all the X-Men figures that I wanted from the old Toy Biz line, and that's why I'm just cracking these babies out of the box right here. Now let's show this Rogue next to some other Marvel Legends X-Men figures real fast, all right? Okay, now here she is next to some other Marvel Legends figure. This right here is that retro Gambit that we just looked at the other day. This right here is that VHS box set. I think I got this off of Hasbro Pulse, the Cyclops right here. So this isn't the Cyclops that was from that Apocalypse Bath years ago. This right here is that one that was in that VHS, okay? And like I said, she stands 6 1/4. He ends up standing 7 3/4. So he's, or not 7, but 6 3/4. So he's a little bit taller than her. I'm sure he would be too if I end up, you know, stretching his knees out. But I just wanted to show you guys how she ends up scaling with some of these figures, okay? But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And until next time, stay cool.